pun. Itulah. Kekok orang. Dia pun tak pakai. Kekok orang. Imam Zikri. Libam. Ya. Imam Zikri. Libam. Bedak pakai tak? Bedak sikit. Oh ya. Tak apalah, boleh sikit. Dia tak nak sangat. Oh ya. Tak apalah. I lari. I want cepat sini. Kau pakai je. Boleh je. Media sediakan kamera. Kita nak pakaikan lipstick untuk Aiman. Oh. Cepat jangan gambar. Baik.
Hello, Assalamualaikum Dr. Fizi.
Waalaikumsalam. Kejap. I nak setting kejap.
Sekejap kami minta maaf Dr. Fizi, tapi kami sedang menunggu a few guest of honors yang lain. So nanti kan kalau once diorang dah masuk, nanti kan we will start the event.
Okay, right. Just let me know lah bila Okay, I will try to set up my camera.
Yeah. Okay, Doctor.
Definitely.
We will start our
Live stream.
Okay.
So yeah. We are still waiting for our friend, right? Okay, we are now live. Doctor. Greetings everyone, the exhibition will begin shortly. So I hope everyone may wait for a while. We set up the platform and to wait for more participants to join. And please ask your friends or your relative to join our event.
Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good morning to all. We are delighted to welcome all of you to Aviation Exhibition 2021. The opening ceremony will be starting in 5 minutes. For the participants in YouTube, please do not hesitate to comment or like the live as a sign of your support.
And please invite your friends to join us, and don't forget to subscribe to Aerospace Information Center YouTube channel for more exciting content. A gentle reminder for participants in Teams, please do not mute or remove other people in Microsoft Teams, and please do respect each other during this event. Thank you.
Before we proceed, we would like to introduce ourselves. My name is Wanur Ifa Husna and currently taking Bachelor of Aviation Management in UNIK Almiat, and with me,
My name is Muhammad Aiman Zikri, studying in Bachelor of Aircraft Engineering Technology, Mechanical. We will be the moderator for the entire program.
with all due respect, together with us today in this exhibition is Dr. Muhammad Hafizi bin Samsudin, Dean of UNIK Almiat, Madam Siti Nurbalqis binti Cik Min, Librarian of Tunku Azizah Knowledge Centre, UNIKL Miat Library, and Advisor of Aerospace Information Centre, Madam Rosita binti Mat Noor, Senior Executive of Centre for Alumni and Career Services.
And together with us today are Madam Fazia binti Mamat, Executive Councillor of UNIKL Miat, Ms. Najwa binti Hakim, President of Student Representative Committee UNIKL Miat 2020-2021, and all committees of Aviation Exhibition 2021, alumni and students of UNIKL Miat, and also the audience of Aviation Exhibition 2021.
Okay, before we begin the aviation exhibition, I would like to invite Arif Aiman bin Rafiz to lead the Doa recitation.
Al-Fatihah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala arsyafi anbiya'i wal mursalin. Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. Sesungguhnya kami berhimpun pada pagi yang mulia ini adalah untuk menjalankan satu aktiviti iaitu Aviation Exhibition. Kami bersyukur dengan izinmu dapat menjalankan aktiviti pada pagi ini. Sesungguhnya kami juga amat bersyukur atas kurniaan nikmat darimu yang tidak ternilai dan melimpah ruah. Ya Fattah, Ya Alim. Sesungguhnya hanya engkau maha mengetahui bahawa kami adalah insan yang sangat lemah yang ingin menimba ilmumu yang sangat luas bagi mengembangkan potensi diri kami sebagai hamba-Mu yang engkau redai. Justeru, kami merendah diri memohon, berkatilah dan rahmatilah majlis kami pada pagi ini, Ya Allah. Sinarilah hati kami dengan cahaya dan hidayah-Mu. Semoga kami dapat menerima, menghayati dan mengamalkannya. Ya Latif, Ya Rahman, kurniakanlah kami kesihatan tubuh badan, kecergasan minda, kekuatan semangat dan keterangan jiwa dalam berjihad di jalan-Mu, Ya Allah. Semoga dengan itu kami dapat menempuhi cabaran, berdaya saing dan mampu mengangkat martabat agama Islam, masyarakat dan negara ini. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azabannar. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wasallam walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Amin, amin, ya Rabbal Alamin. Thank you, Arif Aiman, for the dua recitation. May this aviation exhibition be blessed and facilitated. Without further ado, we would like to do a brief explanation on this aviation exhibition 2021. This event is organized by Tunku Azizah Knowledge Centre, Ibnu Firnas Learning Hub, and Aerospace Information Centre Committee in collaboration with Career and Counselling Guidance Unit and Centre for Alumni and Career Service.
Yeah, also Aviation Exhibition 2021 is organized with the purpose of exposing the various possible career opportunity in aviation industry for UNIKL Miat student itself and the public who might be interested to join aviation industry.
For your information, this event will be held for 2 days from today and tomorrow. There will be 4 slots that are covered in this exhibition, ranging from airline, airports and cargo, air traffic control, and chartered CILT talk show.
Yeah, it is a pleasure if you join every session, as there will be quizzes, lucky draw, and also we prepare money prize for every winners. To ensure you win the prize, please focus to the speaker. Also, we have videos and we have plenty interesting things to share with you. So stay tuned. Before we proceed, I would like to invite our guest of honor, Dr. Muhammad Hafizi bin Samsudin. Before we proceed with our guest of honor, we have prepared a video for you to see. So, if
Yes.
our committee ready,
Sorry, technical thing.
okay, that's all for a short video, and we have a very plenty video for you. So stay tuned. So Aiman,
Yes.
let's just proceed. Before we proceed, I would like to invite our guest of honor, Dr. Muhammad Hafizi bin Samsudin, Dean of Unike Almiat, to give a welcoming speech.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I forgot to catch your name. What's your name?
Ifa and Aiman.
Ifa and Aiman. Sorry, Ifa and Aiman. Thank you um, for the gesture, the kind gesture of actually inviting me to give the opening speech for your event, Aviation Exhibition 2021. I think this is the first event organized by AICC, is it?
Actually, not first event, but
I mean the
first
first
exhibition.
exhibition. This will be
Yeah,
the
sure.
first aviation exhibition for, yeah. So I consider it as the first event of Aviation Exhibition 2021. I hope there will be more series to come in the future.
Inshallah.
Right. But before that, I would like to say thank you to your, I think your club advisor, Puan Balkis, Puan Siti Balkis, and also to I would like to say thank you to the president of SRC, Najwa binti Hakim. I'm seeing her name is also inside this team. And my colleague, Encik Azhar Hamid, I believe is going to be giving his speech afterwards.
Yes.
Not well, his talk afterwards. So, and all SRC members and the rest of the viewers who are watching via YouTube, I guess. Is it live stream via YouTube?
Yes,
Yes.
it is live streaming.
Right. So I think very early in the morning to have such session, but I guess they say early birds always catch the biggest worm. So I
Yeah.
think this is what we are offering to them. One of the biggest worm in terms of the knowledge of aviation that we are sharing for free, I guess. So I think this is a very good effort, a very noble effort, and I would like to actually open by giving a congratulatory remark to all the committee members of organizing this event. I think congratulations to all. I think this is a very important platform for us to share knowledge, not just to the students, but to the public at large, because aviation industry is actually picking up the pace again.
Yeah.
We saw that we suffered for the last 2 years because of the pandemic. What had happened to the aviation industry, the effect of it is widely seen. How many people are laid off from their work, retrenchment everywhere. But that is not something to actually leave a mark for us to actually paint the aviation industry as something irrelevant, right? So aviation industry is still relevant and very much relevant. And I think it is for me to mention here that it is one of the biggest or one of the major player in terms of the economic contributor to the country, right? So we heard recently by the Prime Minister of Malaysia when he delivered his speech on the 12th Malaysia Plan, RMK 12, and we see how aerospace was given a particular chapter, a particular chapter. I urge all the members, even my students who are watching this YouTube, I think you should grab hold of the document of Rancangan Malaysia ke-12 and read through, because I think as an aviation and also as a university student, you have to keep yourself abreast with the latest information, what's going on, and how you as a student can actually contribute to the nation. All right. So what you're doing today is actually a contribution, actually, right? So people are
Yes.
seeing your YouTube channel, even though there are not much view or not many viewers are watching it. I mean, quantity is not the case, it's the quality that we are looking at, right? So in terms of quantity, leave it to the Almighty. He will open the heart. Whoever wants to watch it, they will watch it. But it's the quality that we are after. So I think it is worth if all the speakers in this exhibition, aviation exhibition that you organize, in which one day, inshallah, I will pray that this aviation exhibition will be huge. The first series is always small. We start small, but inshallah, I think let's build up the momentum. You will be the impetus, right? So hopefully, I pray that this is an impetus to a bigger exhibition that will happen in the future. So if I can share some of the Rancangan Malaysia ke-12 or the 12th Malaysian Plan, I think there are two targets where the nations are moving. I'm so sorry because of the background. I'll just I'm staying very close to the KLIA, so you can see my background. The
Yeah.
aircraft is taking off. So I don't just give you the background, I also give you the sound effect, right?
It's okay.
Yeah. Okay, so there are two targets which I think is worth for me to mention. One of it is actually the aviation under the 12th Malaysian Plan. Um, the country is targeting to actually create a revenue of almost 30 billion or 300 billion, if I'm not mistaken, right? So it's a huge thing that they would like to target, right? It's a huge thing, 30 billion, right? From aerospace itself, 30 billion from aerospace itself. That is the target that is given, and also 330,000 new manpower. Okay, 30,000 new manpower in the year 2030. So that shows how optimistic the government is to actually drive the aerospace, right? So I think this workshop, if I would like to urge some of the speakers to give some highlights to the opportunity of the aviation industries and how optimistic the government in actually helping to drive the aerospace industry. And I don't think that if the government do not believe that aviation industry is not relevant anymore, I don't think they will put such a huge target. All right. So to all those skeptics, I would say that saying that aviation is not a career, is not a field with a good prospect in terms of career, I think they are wrong, right?
Yeah.
And what you are doing is actually to prove them that it is not true. I think one of the biggest opportunity is actually in aviation industry. So you can see another background effect. over there,
The
right?
pleasure to hear the sound, the free
Yeah, yeah.
soundtrack.
So it's in line with the theme aviation, you know. So I give you the sound effect as well, right? I can give you the sound effect as well. So I think what let me just share just a little bit more before I open the exhibition, officially officiate the exhibition. Uh, MIAT is actually intended to actually support the government's intention, all right, and we will try to expand, move along. I think perhaps Mr. Azhar in his talk afterwards can also share some of the plans that we are devising. Mr. Azhar is also the project management office. He's the head of the project management office for Unique Almiat, and he knows some of the plans that we are actually devising and the directions that we are moving to spearhead Unique Almiat. So we are moving together, and we are trying to actually complement whatever strategic direction that the government is actually heading. All right. So I am very happy for you guys to actually organize such event like this, because this is a platform where all informations are shared and you can actually ask questions, and you can gain new things, because some informations you don't just get in the classroom.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't get this kind of informations in the classroom. But what makes you smart is knowing what other people do not know. All right. So I think it is wise for university students to get extra information. All right. What the government is doing, what the country is doing, what the world is actually pursuing. All right. Particularly in aviation industry. So some of those informations you don't get in the classroom, right? But you will get it through platforms like this. Recently, there was a My Aero conference. Uh, there was a My Aero conference. There's another aircraft coming, right? Held, I think, by NICO. So congratulations to NICO of organizing such a beautiful event, giving exposure and information to the wide, public about the direction of the aerospace industry in Malaysia. So I also urge that all the attendees of today's exhibition, if you have opportunities like that, go and make yourself available to attend, because us being cream of the cream, as a university student, you guys are cream of the cream. You should be aligning yourself or attaching yourself to platforms of knowledge, I would say. All right, wherever there are, a knowledge sharing session, you should be inclining yourself towards that. All right, not just hiburan, things like that. That is also important. You also have to have a good life, a balanced life. You should have also have time to make yourself happy. But I think what is also most important is for you to uplift your status as a university student. So with that, I would like to say congratulations to all the committee, to all those who are organizing this. Congratulations also to SRC, to the library, right? Siti Balkis, who is actually the advisor of organizing this. Kudos to all. I think you guys are doing a very sterling effort. And I think I've put up a challenge. I had a meeting with your advisor, Puan Siti Balkis. So there's another event and there's another talk that I wish for AICC to actually organize. I'm not gonna say it here. I'm not gonna spoil the surprise. But there's another thing that I would like for Puan Siti Balkis to actually arrange for it. So with that having said that, I think I will, with the lafaz Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I would like to officially launch the Aviation Exhibition 2021, and I wish all the attendees a nice and having a nice, pleasant day to actually listen to all the speakers. And I hope you gain a lot of knowledge from this exhibition, or the 2 days exhibition. Inshallah, I will try to attend if I'm available. I will try to attend. It's good that it's organized online, so that whatever I do, I can just plug in my earphone and listen to it. Right. So thank you very much to the moderators. Thank you. Right.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Dr. Hafizi, on the inspiring welcoming speech. We are honored to have you as our guest of honor for today's welcoming ceremony. Before we start the session, can we have a photo session with our guest of honor? Everyone in Teams may turn on your camera for a photo session.
Yeah. Our President SRC also
If you are
available.
available to open up your camera.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So is our technical team ready for the okay, yeah, sure. So we are still waiting for others to open up their cameras. So maybe 30 seconds more.
Right. Yeah.
Our invite.
I didn't know that you guys are going to do a YouTube live, so because I'm underdressed, I'm not dressed properly for such.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Hairul Nisa
good.
did not
Yeah.
inform that there's going to be a YouTube live. I thought there was just a team session only.
But you still look handsome, Doctor.
Thank
With
you.
the airplane and the soundtrack.
Thank you for the
compliments each other. Okay, so our technical team is ready. So yep.
Madam Marquis,
Oh yeah, Madam
can you
Marquis.
open the camera? Our advisor. But if
yeah, I think she's having a problem with her camera.
Yeah.
So we are taking the photo in 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's take another one. Our technical team is ready. Okay, so another photo in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the last photo for today is will be informal maybe.
Informal, huh?
Okay, so we are going to take the photo in 3, 2, 1. All right. Okay, so before we begin the exhibition, we would like to thank all of our guests of honors who spent their valuable time to be with us today. Thank you so much, Dr. Hafizi and Amluna Unit, and also Counseling Unit, as always encouraging and initiating a healthy culture to Uniki Alumni students by supporting programs and events that really builds up the student personal skill. Hence, you are more than welcome to stay throughout the workshop if you would like to.
Okay. So before we proceed, Aiman, I can see the number at our YouTube live keep increase.
Keep increasing.
Yeah, so I want to remind please to all audience, invite your friends or your relative to join our live so they can have a knowledge and know more about aviation. So without further ado, let us begin our first session, which is what's more in airline. So Aiman, do you know about airline?
As a technical student, I do not know much more about airline as the AVM students do.
Yeah.
But I think airline is just a company that provides a scheduled flight that connect passengers from one destination to other destination. So what about you, Ifa?
Okay. All right. Thank you. I can consider the answer. But I think that is just a part of airline. But they must have a lot of information that we can get from our speaker today, right, Aiman?
Yeah, you are correct, Ifa. So before we start our session, let me introduce our speaker for the airline session today, which is Mr. Azhar Hamid. He is the Principal Specialist at University Kuala Lumpur, Malaysian Institute of Aviation Technology. For your information, Ifa,
yes,
he currently heads the university's project management office. So why won't you introduce him a little bit more about his background?
Yeah, sure. I already make some research for us to know more about the speaker before we pass to him. So he was a graduate from University Technology Mara, UiTM, in Business Studies and holds an MBA from Charles Sturt University, Australia. He was an airline industry player where prior to joining the university in 2018, Aiman.
Yep.
Mr. Azhar also held key management positions as head of budgeting and planning in finance division, and his last post was a senior regional vice president, South Asia. And Aiman, at Middle East base at the Airline's regional office in New Delhi, India.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
So, without wasting time, without further ado, let us invite our speaker, Mr. Azhar Hamid.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning. Can you hear me clearly or?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
I feel some echo sound.
It's okay. We can hear you.
I'm sorry. I think it could be due to my earphone. All right. Okay. Audio. Okay.
Yep, the audio is loud and clear.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum once again. Suddenly I didn't see anything here now.
Okay.
Okay. I do not have. I'm sorry. I do not have any slides to show. Just based on my experience. Okay. Basically, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Azhar Hamid. Currently, I am teaching at the Nike Almiat in aviation management, particularly in the airline station management and also aviation finance. Previously, I also taught the subject of aviation marketing. These are areas which is really dear to me based on my past experience and basically aviation knowledge. Okay. I will be sharing some views, based on our discussion later on. But these views are my personal views, so I have to put in some disclaimer. It's not a view of my previous organization, career, or that. But it is based on my observation, and I just like to share the thoughts what I have.
Sure,
okay, I think
Mr. Azhar, we want to hear more about you, and based on your background, what I've read, so I'm interested to know, can you share with us your previous position and your job scope during you at the aviation industry?
Okay, I worked in the airline for quite a while, quite some time. It's a long time. In fact, I spent about 30 over years in the airlines.
It's a long time.
I started off as a management trainee in the Malaysia Airlines back in the 80s, early 80s. Basically, during that time, I think if my students from aviation management, I think most of those who followed aviation industry during that time is the transition between the deregulation and from regulation and deregulation. This the time when we have deregulation in the industry. A lot of things are transition happening. Okay, I joined during that time as management trainee, and I worked in various positions, various departments, in fact. But most of my time was spent in corporate planning, in the planning areas, business planning, market planning, network and revenue planning. So those are the areas of planning that chart the direction and activities for the company for the future. I spent quite a number of years there. I think about almost 20 years in corporate planning areas before I moved to finance as head of budgeting, as mentioned by you earlier. I was head of budget and planning in the finance division, where I was entrusted to prepare the budget for the company, yearly budget and the long-term planning for the company. Of course, I don't do that alone. It is a team effort. I was leading the team, and to do the budget, I get involved with a lot of other divisions, head of divisions to chart the plan for the future. I spent about 5 years in the budget, finance, and after that, I was positioned as the head of region in the head of regional office in New Delhi that covers South Asia region, South Asia countries, and also the Middle East. Until I retired in the 2016.
2016, I see.
Okay,
So,
that is a brief update about me.
before that, so I heard that you said you start at 80s, but I can see you still look young, Mr. Azhar, and I cannot rasa berapa lah umur Mr. Azhar kan, rasa still muda.
Tak muda, is already retirees lah.
Retirees.
Retirees.
So I can see that you more onto the budget and planning for the airline itself, right?
Not really, only that. In fact, like I mentioned earlier, I cover quite a lot, various areas. Basically, there are 3 areas that I cover. One is the planning, corporate planning, when we do even the fleet plan, identify the network, what should be the network for the airline, where we're supposed to operate, what are the market that we should to venture into, which market that we want to develop for the airlines. Identify market is very important for not only for the current year but also for the future. Which market that we want to develop for the future, and because of, for that we will look into what sort of fleet that we want to have. So this will involve entail into acquisition of aircraft, what sort of aircraft that we need to have. So we look into all those various corporate planning areas. And then I also cover the capacity planning, how much capacity that we will have to put in into which destination, identifying the destination itself. So basically, these are the areas of corporate planning works. And of course, there are also venture into what sort of how we would react on to the competition, what we should do in the midst of the competition, especially the low cost carriers that was mushrooming during that time. So this, as I mentioned, most part of my life was in these planning areas.
Corporate planning.
Corporate planning. So I went to venture into finance as also as a planning personnel. Which actually we look into financial planning. When we talk about budgeting, is financial planning activities. So that is, if I consider some important areas in the airlines where we will venture into what we want to be in the near future. So how these are the areas where we look into the competition. We look into what sort of market that we want to serve. Who are our customers? What is our model of business? And after that, I think I spent not that long, about 5 years. And then I finally landed in the foreign area, foreign territory. In New Delhi, which I cover quite a big area in the airlines. If I recall, I was responsible to deliver revenue. Main responsibility is to achieve certain targets.
Certain targets.
So this is basically like commercial or marketing and sales functions. So my target was quite huge at the time. I don't have to mention how much it is, but it is quite huge, especially to cover the area like India, which at that time was really opening up. So there are a lot of activities, involvement that our airline. During that time, I think we have we achieved quite a majority in terms of market capture. market share basically in India for travel into the Far East and also to Australia. So that is basically my involvement in the airlines.
Yeah, so excited to hear that. And from the corporate planning to the finance and also like the marketing, right? And need to wear the revenue at the New Delhi. So can you share with us and share with me and the audience what are the requirements to work and be in your position? So you can explain to us the requirement for the corporate planning or any position that you have been.
Okay. For this thing, of course, we do not like to discuss on the higher level of a position. Basically, the entry level, basically for the benefit of students who wanted to, of course, most of you here would like to, I suppose, I would like to enter the aviation industry. So from fresh from the university. Basically, I would like to maybe share some information pertaining to the what would be the requirements for the entry level. Basically, entry level for the graduates would be executive in the executive or officers in the airlines. In the airline, basically, as mentioned by Dr. Hafizi, it is the key drivers or economy.
Yeah.
So when we say the key drivers of the economy is not only pertaining to only transporting passengers only. So they are bigger than that, a bigger role in terms of economic activity, the developing and contributing to the tourism industry as well. Hospitality industry, so basically to join the airline, you know that it is industry, that's service industry. So
Yes.
we will, when we say service industry, we deal with people. So I think the main, apart from your degree, you should have some good personality like to meet people, like to help people. So you must have that kind of
Personality.
inclination and we meet people, we like to communicate, converse, and these are the things that that airline industry or airline companies will be looking at, looking for. So if you keep quiet, of course, so this is not the area that maybe we want to see, because in the airline we work as a team. No one work alone.
Yeah,
You
correct.
have to work in the team. So the idea of communication, even today you are very lucky. You have a lot of tools to communicate. Previously, we only have telephone line and also only telex, which is very hard to key in, to send telexes. But today it is very easy. But you should take the opportunity that and you utilize the tools that you have. Apart from being yourself and like to meet people, of course, the area today, I think a lot of not only in UKLMIAT, other university as well are also preparing students on aviation management or aviation technology or aerospace technology. So these are good to, especially what we have in MIAT, that can fast track your students into to assume roles in airline industry. So before this, when I joined the airline, I was only based on my business administration. So I was not fully understood about the airline. So it took a long time for us to mature in the industry. So today, I think you all are very, very lucky, especially now
Alhamdulillah.
taking this subject, this course, where you learn a lot about not only the industry, also about the detail part of the industry, what we do, the marketing, in finance, in the aircraft engineering, maintenance. So these are a good thing to prepare yourself to apply for the position in the airlines. That means airline will be looking for. It's not on the airline do not have to train, provide basic training. That means the basic thing you already know. So what you learn in the class during the course in your course, you should be able. You should during interview, you should show your knowledge, your ability to give opinions or to share some views about the airline. So that means that you have some basic knowledge already, especially if you can discuss some issues, the current issues that's happening in the industry today. I always tell my students to not only focus on the syllabus, but also try to catch up, try to keep abreast with the what's happening around you in the industry. As I think Dr. Hafizi also mentioned earlier.
The information.
We get more information. You become smarter to understand what's happening today. Keep it as a normal day-to-day rituals lah. Especially, I in fact using your handphones, your mobile today. If you start looking at certain topics, the next day all this news about the topic will automatically appear. So when it appear, click lah. Don't just ignore. Click, and that means you show that you are interested and you want to know more about the topics. So that's in fact previously difficult. You have to go to library. You have to read magazine, buy magazines. You have to go and buy journals, articles to go through. Today it's very easy. I think you all are very, very lucky today.
Yeah.
Make use of the resources that you have. Yes.
So instead of the requirements that I asked, are there any skills required other than you said that we need to polish ourselves, have abilities to talk to people during the student life, to polish ourselves, to face the working life, right? So any specific skill requirement for the job position?
Of course, the skills should be related to the area that you are going to apply, or for example, the skills in aviation, engineering, maintenance. We are preparing a lot of our students. I think most of our students in MIAT are gearing towards becoming engineers in the airline, MRO, all that. Not only airline, but also MRO, which is in the need today. I think we see that when the industry is reviving, there are a lot of needs to have engineers to put back the aircraft, or what we call in service, the aircraft into operations. So a lot of engineers. So of course, for the skill, okay, when you talk about engineering, of course, the engineering the skills related, this is goes without saying you need license, all that. Even we can go into the industry, into the airline or the MRO companies to continue to perform and get more experience. But also in the airlines, there are various divisions or departments, depending on where you will your interest. Of course, my advice is, if you want to join the airline, take whatever it comes. Take whatever it comes, because when I joined as management trainee, so we are not specifically positioned in any areas. So we are quite generalist. So we have to go around and understand the functions of each department. But if you want to be in specific areas, then there are various departments that can offer very interesting career. For example, in I would like to mention revenue management. I think I also taught this subject in aviation management. The revenue management requires people or students which very good analytical knowledge, ability to do data analytics. Okay, these are the new things because in the inline they already have a system. So you need to understand with a good knowledge of data analytics, you should be able to do well in those areas. Because training, of course, will be provided, but then they will be looking as because your counterparts, your peers must will be looking into how to improve themselves. So you have to be ahead all the time. So when you join, you should be able to do data mining. You want to do the analysis and present in the basically to tell a story about from the data. Get the data, tell the story, and what of course that you will be working together with the seniors to present the case for the future engagement of the company. Maybe the direction, marketing direction, which revenue, which sort of market that you want to proceed. All those will be based on data, factual. It cannot be based on the perception without data. So in the airline, we want to see facts. We want to see data. When we say that there are huge market, we want to see how much, what is the market, what is the size you're talking about. Maybe okay, certain area into where I came from, working in New Delhi. We talk about this is the biggest market. Okay, what when you say biggest market, well, you want to see what is the numbers. And the numbers moving into where, which country that is moving. So we want to be very definitive about the data. So there is no like hearsay, you just agak-agak, you want to operate 1 time or 2 times a day. We must be based on facts. And also about understanding the yield, understanding the value of the yield in comparison with other markets. So which is the best market for you? So these are the areas for in revenue management. Of course, you need to understand the background, of the market. The idea about why people fly. Those things you can learn in your class. The basic understanding of markets. So these are really relevant in the airline. You must know what type of market. There are not only 1, 2 types, many types of market, and each type of market will require different way to entice them and to meet their requirements. So the airline must be able to satisfy that. Otherwise, the airline will lose it to their other competitors. So these are revenue management. There are other areas, of course, some basic areas like human resources. So understanding when you work in human resource department in airline, it's not like working human resources in other industry. You need to know the requirement for the people in the HR in the company. For example, they need license. They need to. They have unions. So you need to a lot of activities in the HR. Of course, there are other areas like sales. You have to go into the market. So let's say if you like to join sales division, so you have to be like similar to like a salesman. You will have a target to achieve. So how to achieve those targets when you have a lot of competitors selling almost the same thing. So where you want to, because your effort you have, let's say 5 days a week, how many days that you want to spend going into the market, to meet agents or to meet the clients, and how are you going to capture those clients? Not only, I'm not talking about individual. Today, you can find, if you want to travel, people just click on try to log internet, go and search for the best prices. Yes, of course, these are the area that you can do marketing and sales. But they are also that you need to engage big companies, big organization that provide volumes, high quality travel and with a big volume and consistent throughout the year. So these are the things that you have to engage and contract. So basically, salesmen will be doing that. Of course, later on we also will focus on other areas lah as we go along. Yeah.
Yeah. So it means that every career, every job position have its own skills.
Yes.
Have various skills that we need to apply. So it means that during our study life, we need to polish it first, and we need to know what we want to venture, right, Mr. Azhar?
Yeah. I think when you learn throughout your 3 or 4 years in the university, you may during the final year you might have already formed an opinion which would be your interests. Is it marketing, or is it in the planning areas, or is it in the technical areas? We have not spoken about the job at the airport, which have a lot of activities at the airport.
Correct.
Not engineering, but it is passenger handling, ground handling. These are huge opportunities, not only with the airlines, but you can also work in the ground services companies that provide not only to one airline, but a lot of airlines that coming into the airport. You can also work at Malaysia Airports Berhad, running the airport itself.
So it has various position, not instead of airline, and also we have session for airport also. So as you mentioned that we have various of position or division department. So what are other position that Mr. Azhar can give us the example that are important in the airline itself, but it's not being well known by others, and you would like to emphasize it more?
Okay, important position. I mentioned the revenue management just now, to work in the revenue management. Basically, I'm quite impressed with those who join the revenue management. Young people like you all, joining the industry, very young but very capable. At that time, I think about 10 years ago, we started recruiting fresh students. To join our revenue management. When I say revenue management team, there are quite a number of people there looking at the data, looking at the traffic. When I say passenger movement. I'm focusing more on the best passenger. Of course, in the airline, we also carry cargo. There are also another area. See, there are a lot of opportunities for you, for you to work in cargo. I'm not that really indulge in cargo, but of course as a budget head of budget, I cover cargo as well, but not specifically into the activities in the warehouse or doing sales cargo. But the idea about revenue management team is that you need to understand the basic business of the airline, which is a passenger movement, where passenger come from. You need to identify. You learn already about the OND, origin and destination. Okay, by understanding that, you want to explore which market will be right for your airline, of course, and who are the competitors in certain market. In the airline, where the airline that I work in, we operate into various markets, ONDs, and we also have a partner with other airlines in the alliance group, and we need to understand. We need to get a lot of information, not only data from passengers, but also economic data. What is the performance of the country? What are the new trends in the travel? Even in Malaysia, if you study carefully, you will see that there will be a trend. Sometimes people like to go to Korea because something, because they watch the Korean movies or whatever. So there will be, during that 1 or 2 years, a lot of travel to Korea. And then after that, there will be a lot of travel to, let's say, Balkan. People want to visit Bosnia, whatever, or this East European bloc. And also at times in India, at time suddenly there will be a lot of people want to go to India because they want to visit the Taj Mahal, to go to Jaipur, all that. So you need to understand for each market what is the trend. So this one, this knowledge, it's not available from textbook, from what you have learned. You should keep abreast with the tourism industry. Focus on the what are the attractions for each destination. So these are the key knowledge that you need to have. Other than that, you need to also understand what is the behavior, market behavior of each area. So when you join the revenue management in the airlines, you will be positioned in various regions. So because each region have some peculiarity about the requirement for travel for that particular region. Let's say I was in India. So the Indians, those people, those residents in India, they have different requirement. What are their importance when they travel? So maybe the food that they. So your airline, when you prepare the food or the in-flight services, you have to prepare the food in line with the requirement of the passengers. That means passengers coming from India. So you don't provide like noodles for the passengers in India, which is more akin to the passenger going to China. So for India, so you need to provide maybe biryani or maybe roti, whatever. So that kind of food. So because maybe you see India have 1.4 billion population, people. So when they travel, so maybe it will be their first time travel. So when the first time they want to go and have the food that which is their liking. So you cannot be serving some other things which alien to them. So understanding about the market is very important before you go and try to target, try to get what type of revenue that you want to have. So that is one. The other one, maybe later I would like to also mention the one important area which is not much discussed is the financial planning, which is working directly together with MD. So this area, which is very crucial, sometimes you need to meet MD almost every day. So you will see a young executive meeting the managing director almost every day to prepare to present the financial reports, financial data. Later on, maybe I will continue to comment on that.
Sure. So is a lot of research, or we need to have a knowledge about the area first before we join the job. Before we join the industry itself. So before I proceed with my question, to all audience, especially in our live chat, our live YouTube, you can ask question also to Mr. Azhar about anything about airline itself. You can comment at the live chat. Okay, so if have the question, I will read it. Okay, so we proceed with my question. Okay, as I know, as you mentioned that you have been a regional office in New Delhi, India. What are the different operations or your responsibilities, job scope with MAS at Malaysia and MAS at India during at India?
Okay. Okay. The difference between my tenure in HQ and the time when I spent it in the foreign country. Basically, the difference is with regard to the work involvement, which is more internal in HQ. As I was working, basically for me, I was working in the planning areas and in finance. Of course, these are internal, basically activities. The work involved are more internal. That means most of my job require communication, discussion, meetings, or coming up with plans for internal consumption. For internal activities. Basically, of course, we met from time to time people coming to present or to sell the aircraft. So I also have to attend when we as a market planner. So we meet the aircraft manufacturer who come to present the aircraft, and also, but the involvement, the engagement with outsider will be very limited when you work, especially in corporate planning. We don't discuss our plan with outsiders. When I was in finance, so we basically activities will be basically within our employees, our departments. But when I work in the outside the country, my job requirement is more of engagement with the outside party. So basically, my role was to generate revenue, and also expand the market. So the direction is to go and get as much revenue and see the future. I mean, try to establish our position as the market leader in aviation in India. So I think we have quite accomplished that. For example, if you ask anybody in India at that time, if they travel to want to travel to Australia, they will be traveling with us. Basically, with the airline. Of course, we have competitor, but I think we have done quite a bit to have a strong footing in the market from India to Australia. Even now, we in competition with other big airlines. I think we have done quite well there. So my engagement was more of to get the market, to get our customers, to get as many customers, and to establish ourselves for a long-term relationship with the customer. For example, when I say that, we develop relationship with big agents in India. So the biggest agents, I think in India there are two big agents there, RIA and Akbar. These are two big multi-billion dollar companies. Their turnover multi-billion. So because they sell to all across the world, or travel to all across the world, and we are one of the main carrier that for the airline. Of course, we will cover travel into the east. Of course, we don't venture from India going to Europe and to east coast of US. It's not our market. It will be a backtracking. But anything going to east from India, so we will have been the main player. Even to China, we carry traffic from India to China via Kuala Lumpur. So in doing that, I need to be involved in the with the market, which is the agents, corporate houses. When I say corporate houses, big companies, they are sending people to work in other regions. In India, when I was there, especially in Bangalore, we have big IT companies. Bangalore, Bombay, even New Delhi also. There are big IT companies like Tata Consultancy, Infosys, Wipro. These are big companies. Like Wipro, they have about 13 to 15,000 engineers, system engineer, that they are working across the world. So these people will be traveling. So we want to get a good share of the market for the from this Infosys or Wipro. What else? Agents. I mentioned agent. And then at the time when I was there, the new thing about the product distribution by using internet booking, that it was slowly coming up lah. So we have new companies, not the traditional companies, new companies which have their own website, who can they come up with the benefit of the Infosys and Wipro, which is also an Indian company. They come up with good sophisticated system to capture market for bookings, for passenger bookings. So these companies are huge, and we have been dealing with them. The target was almost 100 million ringgit or more. Okay, so basically, if I can tell you in the nutshell, when I was in HQ, more of the internal work. So when you are going outside, of course, the idea is to engage as many counterparts or as many companies, stakeholders in the aviation.
Understood. So during you're at the India, New Delhi, you need to make a more networking, right?
Yes.
And do more public relations. I see. Okay. It's interesting. Because we need to see people with various background, either they are rich, so we need to have the credibility to talk with them, right?
Sure.
So Mr. Azhar, before we proceed to the next question, let us watch a video because we have prepared a video for your information. We have interviewed some industry players also, but we cannot live with them, and we make a recording. And also to all the audience, please invite more your friends, your relatives to join us, because after this we have quizzes and we have the prizes for you. And if our committee have ready, shall we, Mr. Azhar, to watch the video?
Okay.
Okey, nama saya Mac Dawson Hayes. Saya dalam Galaxy Australia ni, saya bekerja sebagai commercial under Department Commercial, dan kerja saya segenerally adalah untuk liaise dengan klien yang terdiri daripada General Aviation dan klien yang terdiri daripada government juga lah, especially Navy, PDRM, dan macam untuk saya sekarang mainly saya tengah handle, saya as a coordinator, saya sedang handle projek untuk Navy, untuk helikopter operasi maritim.
So memang banyak dalam negara lah, memang banyak dalam
motor government project.
So kalau saya tengok selalunya orang komersial ni dia kena pandai PR, kena pandai liaise dengan people. So boleh saya tahu background Encik Mac sebelum masuk sebagai komersial?
Sebelum ni background saya sebenarnya daripada mechanical engineering, dan sebelum ni pun saya study saya pun daripada mechanical engineering juga, bekas student ini KL ni,
bekas alumni lah.
Alumni ni lah. So kira masuk dalam ni commercial ni adalah something yang baru juga lah bagi saya. So I still have a lot more to learn lah untuk saya.
Faham? So dekat sini saya nampak lah, tak kisahlah kita study dekat technical ke, sebagai technical ke, mechanical ke, at the end kita sendiri tak tahu kita kerja sebagai apa. Just kita kena berani lah. Betul tak?
Betul. Sebenarnya kalau dalam aviation, dia bukan setakat engineering saja, bukan setakat pilot saja. Sebenarnya dia banyak lagi. Dia okay, let's say kalau paling biasa orang familiar engineering, pilot. Dia ada lagi macam tim yang Cik dah interview tadi, AICC, dia orang yang akan handle to store semua equipment lah, equipment macam tractor apa semua tu lah, yang itu yang saya tahulah setakat ni. Macam ada lagi macam saya daripada komersial, saya akan banyak lah liaise dengan orang-orang dekat luar. Kita ni macam umpama muka hadapan pada orang luar. Jadi dia sebenarnya banyak lagi. Yang itulah yang saya tahu setakat ni.
So sebagai sebelum ni Cik Mac sebagai student teknikal. So bila dah masuk komersial ni ada tak macam kesusahan ke challenges untuk adapt dengan komersial ni, ataupun Cik Mac dah memang dari college kita panggil represent something else, dah memang pandai bercakap ke dia bila dah Cik Mac masuk dia ada changes dekat situ?
Bagi saya daripada bekas student teknikal nak masuk komersial ni banyak perubahan sebenarnya, dan benda ni something yang baru daripada saya, untuk saya. Tapi apa yang saya dah pernah belajar sebelum ni sebenarnya dia di-apply juga banyak sebenarnya yang di-apply, macam barang-barang teknikal apa semua tu yang saya dah familiar, so saya boleh bawa benda tu ke dalam komersial. Let's say kalau contoh saya jumpa dengan klien dia akan bertanya, dia akan banyak bertanya kenapa part ni, apa problem part ni pada aircraft ni semua. So daripada situ saya apply ilmu apa yang saya dah belajar tu daripada technical tu. So saya tak ada macam saya tengok saya tak tahu apa. So daripada situ boleh lah apply.
Faham. So selagi kita dekat dalam aviation, basic tu masih ada lah.
Basic masih ada.
So bila saya tengok Encik Max bercerita macam banyak pengalaman, boleh saya tahu berapa tahun dah Encik Max dekat dalam bidang sekarang?
Komersial saya masih baru lagi sebenarnya. Saya kalau diikutkan saya dalam baru 6 bulan sebenarnya. 6 bulan. Tapi dalam 6 bulan tu banyak benda yang saya belajar lah. Sebab di dalam komersial kita orang memang dah diajar untuk lajukan basic orang. So saya banyak liaise dengan orang dari tempat lain, macam orang daripada department lain, just to make sure projek yang saya handle sekarang ni berjalan dengan lancar.
So orang panggil apa, time is profit lah kan, time is money. So sebenarnya kena cepat lah dalam commercial ni. So satu lagi boleh tak Encik Max sharekan dengan kita orang experience lah ataupun sweet memories sepanjang Encik Max bekerja dalam aviation, bukan sahaja dalam commercial department lah.
Sweet memory saya dapat berkenalan dengan orang yang tak kira daripada mana-mana tempat. Daripada mana-mana department apa semua. Saya tak terhad kenal orang daripada department saya saja. Sebab saya memang jenis outgoing dan saya suka lah kenal kawan dengan orang-orang baru. Di samping juga benda tu boleh create connection. Bila connection tu dah create, so kerja akan jadi mudah, akan berjalan dengan lancar. Itu bagi saya pengalaman manis saya.
So kalau manis mesti ada pahit dia. Apa pahit tu? Yang pahit, paling pahit lah kan?
Paling pahit. Paling pahit yang saya pernah experience sebelum ni adalah ketika saya di dalam satu meeting dengan government, government company ni, lepas tu ada dengan Leonardo helikopter daripada Itali, tu daripada orang luar negara. Saya tak dapat deliver benda requirement. So dekat situ saya jadi macam tak fully prepare. So apa yang saya present tu tak sampai dekat diorang, dan diorang pun tak puas hati lah dengan benda tu. Dan daripada situ saya rasa disappointed juga lah dengan diri ni. So tapi pelajaran daripada situ, lesson learn, apa yang kelemahan yang saya aware kat situ, saya akan saya improve lah from time to time. So itulah pengalaman pahit saya lah setakat ni.
Selalunya pengalaman pahit tu bagi impact besar dekat hidup kita, and kita boleh lagi upgrade diri lah. So untuk last soalan lah, untuk Encik Max, apa advice untuk student dekat luar ataupun people out there, stigma yang aviation ni mesti pilot, aviation ni mesti engineering. So apa you punya advice and you punya point of view lah?
Advice saya, Okay, dalam aviation, kalau nak tengok aviation ni, biasa stigma orang kan, kalau tak pilot mesti engineer. Sebelum nak minat tu, apa kata, explore dulu. Explore dulu, bagi saya macam tu lah. Explore dulu apa itu aviation. So daripada situ kita boleh nampak dia memang bukan setakat dua yang pertama tu. Dia banyak lagi, banyak sebenarnya. Planner ada, camo, procurement apa semua, technical publication tu semua banyak. Dan semuanya memang interesting. Diorang ada kelebihan diorang masing-masing. Bagi saya explore lah, try to be curious. Kalau setakat situ saja memang tak berguna jugalah. Memang curious tu kena ada.
So dekat situ pun nampak dah dekat raut wajah Cikmat yang Cikmat memang sangat happy dengan you punya job, and happy lagi untuk learn more about this. So betul lah, kiranya kat sini Ifah boleh rumuskan yang untuk kita dah nak masuk dalam aviation ni bukan sahaja passion, tengok kapal kita minat, tengok stewardess kita suka, tapi dengan curiosity yang tinggi. So bila kita ada curiosity yang tinggi, kita akan learn more lah about apa yang kita akan joint venture. Is holding commercial position for MRO, but I feel that for the airline commercial also, based on what Mr. Azhar had been precise to us, there's no much more difference between them. So I will proceed with the next question. For Mr. Azhar, what's your point of view on how airlines will survive during this endemic?
That is very difficult question to answer, basically.
The famous question during this time, right?
So as you can see, I mean, that's why I mentioned that we need to keep abreast of what's happening. But basically, of course, all this will be the question actually will be posted back to the planning areas, the planning people in the corporate planning, what they're going to do after this. So basically, I think to look at what they are supposed to do is to keep a view about what's happening next. Like what we saw this morning, I saw news about our Prime Minister mentioning about the reopening of travel into certain area like Singapore or coming up to the region. So these are the things that will drive to be a new thing that the airlines will be looking at, or the aviation industry will be looking at. In fact, they are eagerly looking into this. When are they going to start reopen again? So taking that note, my opinion, looking at the things today, is that we need to, of course, we cannot take everything, whatever passenger come in that we need to be, as an airline, I think they should look into the role that they want to play in the future, especially after this. I consider the pandemic today is like the ground zero. I mean, zero-rise everything. You see that big airlines also suffer, not only small airlines. So there could be new players also that want to come in and challenge the traditional players. And the traditional players are those, if you have issues previously, so during the past 1 year, they have, I think they must have already come up with a new focus. They are just waiting for the market to reopen. And we will see. It will be interesting to see how airlines will operate after this. Of course, with a lot of limitation also, new things will be putting in place. Like travel, now you have to have a safe travel. So you have security and safety, health issues will also be will have to be tackled, like screening of passengers to make sure that passengers travel safely. The distancing, how we will see distancing itself, and what sort of market that we are available. We can't operate to all markets immediately. So which market that we will be operating, and with that then we will be looking at what sort of aircraft that will be relevant for the new markets. Especially now, I think we will be looking at more of the narrow body before we operate into more longer distance sectors. I think very interesting to see. If you ask me what will be happening, I also we need to get hard facts. But those in the industry, they have more information, not observing from outside. So those in the industry, they will know more, not only about the market, but also about the regulatory issues. Which market to operate, and when they operate, what sort of SOP that need to be complied. So the compliance issue is also another thing. Of course, I think the tourism industry is eagerly waiting for to try to revive again. But I think, based on my personal view, I think the people, I mean, those travelers are just waiting to travel. They especially the leisure travelers, because already 1 year, so people who are always traveling, so 1 year without going places, which it could be quite taxing on them. So they need to. So we're waiting the reopening. That's why I think last month we saw the reopening of Langkawi. We saw a lot of flights, full flights, going into Langkawi until today. So interesting to see, and that will also create opportunities for students to join the industry, because slowly the market will be opening again. As mentioned again, Dr. Habizi mentioned quite a number of things regarding the opportunities that are there coming up in the aviation industry.
Yeah, inshallah there will be increasing of job opportunity as aerospace or aviation become alive back, and you can travel also. And Mr. Azhar mentioned just now about the new player will come in. So is that they not afraid to face the challenge with the traditional company? And maybe you at the planning place during that time, back then. So what's of your point of view, their activity or their planning or strategies to challenge the traditional company?
Okay, I think this market is if not for the pandemic, it was growing quite rapidly. This industry has been growing at times. It is a double-digit growth year upon year for the past, as you can say, 30-40 years. So when we see that every 10 years, the market, in fact, double. So there is a huge opportunity. And if you ask me regarding new players, of course, people will be looking at new opportunities and how they're going to provide better services than what available currently. So that will be, if you have innovation is the key word here. So if you come up with something that you have not been provided to the public or to the to traveling public before, then of course people would like to try. I take example of when I was in India. We talk about the majority of the traffic looking for cheap travels. Low cost operator will travel, will do better than the food service carrier. But you will be surprised in India. There is currently a new airline in the midst of growth of the LCC. There is one airline in India which was born to only focus on the business travel. That means business class travel only, and it was doing very well. The airline name is Vistara Airlines. So it is they have aircraft full or on the cabin or all business class cabin. So and this you see on another school of thought, you thought that the market will be full of LCC, low cost carrier, but the Vistara has survived and has been doing, not only survive, they are doing very well. Till I think today they have 20-30 aircraft. I'm not sure, but quite a number of it has grown. It was started, I think, in the 2010 or something like that. So today, after 10 years, they have grown very well. In fact, they are venturing into US, Europe, all that. So there is no limitation for newcomers, new players to come in. Of course, when the new players come in, they bring with them new offerings, new product offerings, which is must always be better than what we have been experiencing. Which is worse off, of course, passenger people may not go for them. But if they can prepare something, they come up with some good things. Of course, people wanted to try, and if they try, once they try and then they are satisfied, of course, it will be more passengers will come. So I don't think we should be worried about whether we can compete with the traditional players or not, all that.
Okay. Yeah. I'm also quite shocked to hear that they are growing of full service carrier airline there, and they are doing well. As even I'm in this industry, I'm a student in this aviation industry. I've thought that there might be a lot of newcomer, but with the low cost carrier. But yeah, when I hear from you, is there a place or market for them for full service also? And it's interesting to hear that. And the next question from me is...
Of course, you need to study your market. You cannot simply run a full service business without understanding the market. Of course, you have to study the market, see that there is sizable number of business class travel, and the economy is good. So you can set based on the information that you have. You cannot simply. That's why I mentioned airline require staff or people, employees to do all this research, providing information to come up with the new ideas. So they will be looking at young people like you all. That is temporary. Like today, we see that our economy also contracting, but it is temporary. It will be going upwards again. Anytime now, I can say. Once the pandemic under control, every vaccination, all that done, and we will see once the travel reopened again, I see a lot of opportunities. So to encourage students, I think today airlines or any companies may not be looking at getting fresh graduate without knowledge without in the aviation. Today, you have a lot of competition, not only among you in the University MIAT, UDKL MIAT, but also other universities who are also gearing towards working in the aviation industry. So my words of encouragement will be that try to internalize what you have learned so far in your course, whether it is technical areas or whether it is in commercial you can master in terms of when people ask you what you will be, what is your interest, so try to pick up one area and try to learn more, go drill down, get more information about that particular topic. So that means you when let's say you go for interview, people ask you to maybe talk about aviation. So you find one topic that you can really express yourself, show your understanding, show your knowledge about that particular area. That it will be an eye opener. Other than because today people. Companies or employers would not like to employ generalists with just basic degree without knowledge of the business. We want students to understand the business. Let's say you want to join the engineering, so you should engineering to maintain the aircraft. Of course, you should know the what type of aircraft, what is the capability of each aircraft. Similarly, if you want to join in marketing, you want to marketing the product of the airline product, you must know what are the airline product, not just to say that is providing seats and space to carry cargo. You need to understand more than that. What sort of passenger, where are they inclined, how to get. In fact, we talk about what is the more valuable passengers in terms of yield, which passengers are giving higher yield, which when do they travel, which part of the understanding the seasonality, understanding what is the happenings around the world, or even the season, which are the best season for travel into which area. So by a deep understanding of the market or the area, specific areas in the aviation, it will give you more value, more marketable value when you present yourself to land a role in the airline or other companies in the aviation. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Azhar. So what I get from that is, instead of you have passionate in the industry, you need to be knowledgeable before you enter the market. So you'll be compete with other. So Mr. Azhar, I can see there a comment at the IG live, YouTube live chat. It sounds that like, can you share with us your most memorable experience during in New Delhi?
Memorable experience. Okay.
Might be the pahit one or the manis one.
Mostly manis one, the sweet one. Basically, when I was in New Delhi, the sweet memories will be in that I was quite successful in expanding the market for my airline at that time. In fact, when I first joined the airline, we only have a few points in not only India. I cover also quite other countries as well, like Bangladesh, Maldives, Sri Lanka, and also in the Middle East. So was able to expand into other quite number of destinations where we got stations for the airline. For example, earlier on we only have we operate to big cities in India, but during my time we have successfully operate into new destinations like Kathmandu, to some secondary points in India itself, like Kochi, which have quite good numbers of passengers. And also, I was also responsible to revive our operation in Dubai. One time we have terminated operation to Dubai, but then during my time, we successfully reopened again, and we particularly get set and footing again in Dubai. So those are the sweet memories lah, if I can say. But more of it is that the ability of me and my team to go into the market, to really get the people to buy into our product. We can say that, why I say this, because our flight into India, basically we have 85-90% load factor year round. So that is testimony of the acceptance of our product. A lot of things, of course, a lot of things have to be done before we are able to get that number. It's not about selling cheap fares. Of course, you can sell cheap fares, people will go and buy, but then it will not be profitable. So it is other things that will keep your airline popular, or maybe have a good market followers in any country. So when you operate, of course, you have to trust about your product. The product must be better off than the others. That means you need to find what is the niche that your market that you want to capture in the market. It's not just about selling tickets. It is more than that. It's about selling, making sure that your market, your customers understand your product better. Then only you'll be able to sell your product. If you yourself do not understand the product, then it will be very difficult to sell. Yeah.
Okay. So it might be the sweetest memory for you. And we have also a question from our audience. Salam sir, just a random question from me. What are any requirement needed or any tips from you for a fresh grad who interested to work with other countries' airline industry?
Okay. Of course, there are openings working here in Malaysia. Also, you can work with airlines operating into Malaysia, in Malaysia. But I think I forgot to mention about this industry, which is it is a global player. It is multinational. Airlines operate to a lot of countries. I see a lot of people in Malaysian working in other countries in that particular country. For example, when I go to Qatar, Dubai, we can see a lot of Malaysians working there. So basically, we should not confine basically on the working within in Malaysia. When we work when you study aviation, the opportunities are not only limited to you working in Malaysia. If you look at of course, in Malaysia we have not many airlines. We 1 or 2, 3 airlines. But of course, you can start working in this company. But then maybe some of you may want to eventually work in other countries. To gain, not only to gain experience, but to develop a career. Today, you do not have to worry working in other countries, because if you want to come back, of course, it's just about a day trip. Most of it, like if you're working in Dubai or even in Europe, it is only 1 day you can come back. So there is no worry about that. But the opportunities are there, and then it will broaden also your scope your understanding about, then meet new different kind of people, and what I'm trying to say is do not limit yourself. Focus only like, okay, the environment is only about Malaysia. So I think when our university gearing up, that's why our university in KL, our medium of instruction is in English. So with that, once you graduate, we expect actually we develop people to be able to converse and to be able to share opinions with others, and we use the medium of instruction which is internationally recognized, so easier for you from Malaysia to get along, whether you are placed in any country, in India, in China, or in Australia, you can go along very well. I think this is the opportunities available, not only confined to working at KLIA, working at in Malaysia Airline or Aviation. There are others airline. I can see that we have quite good employees or staff working in not only airlines but also airports. Of course, engineering, you see a lot of Malaysian engineers working in the Middle East. That is normal, but there are also, of course, other areas. One thing that I did not mention about the career opportunities is working in the travel agents. Travel agents actually is very interesting and quite good good salary I can say, good salary opportunities, which we seldom emphasize. We talk about airline, we talk about engineering, but seldom talk about the companies that go and search for passengers, and these are you need a good knowledge about travel industry, travel experience to work in the agencies. In fact, you go to the agency, you find a lot of people previously working with airlines, but landed in the travel agency as a travel planner, managers, and even work in big corporates like even Petronas or even Shell as the travel managers. So they will plan travel for the employees in this huge organization. I think you need to know that big companies, they have a lot of travels for their employees. So normally they have their own department planning for the travel. So they will not only arrange for the tickets, but actually will have some contract to be done, to be held with airlines with regard to their staff that are traveling, what sort of benefit that they will get for their staff that they are traveling, what sort of incentive that they have. So there are a lot more business issues pertaining to the travel, not only about buying tickets, which is more about buying ticket, which is more about cost control for the big organizations. So don't limit yourself in working with airline or airports. There are other areas that you can land a role in these other areas.
Okay, understood. So don't limit yourself and be brave. Also, for this industry, we can work while we travel while works, like that. So, Mr. Azhar, we also have another question. He seeks for your opinion, your advice. What the most demanding position that he can join for the airline company?
Most demanding. Of course, most areas are demanding. So you can not say that all areas. If you go into what I'm trying to say is that there is no area that it is simple, easygoing. If you want to go into certain area, even like at the airport, you thought that it is only like ticket counter, all that. But the demanding part will be that, let's say you have flight delay, which is normal, not only for all airlines experience flight delay. And this, as you learn, this flight delay may be due to other the external reason. So how you handle that? How do you handle passengers during flight delay? So it's quite very demanding. What happens if there is congestion at the airport? How do you how do you tackle and make sure that you achieve on-time performance? So these are things that the challenge will come in. So these are really demanding lah. But of course, there are areas that always very critical regarding to do financial planning to make sure that the airline are profitable. So this require you to sit down and to brainstorm, to come up with good ideas, to ask around a lot of it, to get a lot of information for a lot of parties before you make decision. As I mentioned earlier, the like financial planning or financial management, they need to present to the MD with regard to what is the health of the company on the day-to-day basis. We are not talking about monthly or quarterly or the annual review of financial. We are talking about daily performance. So today, the managing director of airline want to see how we perform today or yesterday or tomorrow, how will our performance, our financial will look like. So these are areas that require a lot of analysis. When you say analysis, that means the person who analyze must already know a lot of information or behavior of the industry before they can make some conclusion or recommendation to the managing director. So not only about the performance today, okay, today is seat factor 85%, tomorrow it will be 90%. Not only that, what does it take in the future if the traffic, how the traffic will is projected to be in the next week or so. What is the preloads? These are the things, when you talk about preloads, these are the things that how you going to understand the current preloads. When I say preload, is the future booking loads of the airlines. So how are you going to improve the future booking load with a good yield traffic, not cheap traffic with a good traffic that you can be profitable. So these are almost every day very demanding kind of job so if even in HR, it is not as easy as clearing leave, making sure that you keep records of employee biodata, all that. It's not only that. It is about, okay, in HR, what kind of people that we require in the future, so that the company will still continue to prosper. So we have to do the planning, the training now. If you stop training people, your staff will not be trained to handle the future uncertainties, the future challenges. So every area has its own challenges, if I may say. I'm not trying just to be a generalist here, but I think and that's will differentiate a person from another. That means if you go to a specific department, you thought that department is easy, but actually once you internalize about it, then you see that they are the importance of the department. Today, airlines will not, I can say, airline will not recruit a person and expect the person to operate or to work easily. Basically, when you recruit a person, we require to get the person to give full attention and full activities lah to the work, not only just to sit pretty lah basically. Have to really carry your weight. Otherwise, passenger may not, airline may not recruit because today cost is a factor. You recruit more people, you have to bear the cost, salary and other staff related costs. So it's not like before lah. Before before deregulation, you can join some airlines, but then maybe your role maybe not be that important. But today every role will be important because if a departmental head will present, let's say they want to recruit new staff, they will present to the HR. HR will scrutinize, see what is the whether it really need or not the person. Even the counter staff. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Sorry, Mr. Azhar. So we have quite a few question more. So I understood that for the previous question, not to generalize that, but you have the wide opportunity, job opportunity for that. And the next question sounds like, what business models and strategies promise the biggest success for after this COVID for airline to generate more revenue? For after this pandemic.
After pandemic. Okay, what do you think? Basically, I think my personal view is more on logic. You see, what is previously you'll be looking at to be able to excel in the airline industry. We look at you need to have better, higher yield passengers, business traffic. But you have to be to take the reality today. Who will be traveling after COVID-19, after this pandemic subside? Who will be traveling? Today I see a lot of leisure travelers. More than the business travelers. So airline, I think, will be focusing on that. It's not my opinion alone. I think I've gone through quite a number of news articles discussing about this. Especially when the why Langkawi only open? Why not other destinations? So already you know that it is more for leisure travel. Will take will make the first step. Passenger, when that means when the leisure travel opening, there are a lot of people who want to go for holidays, leisure traveling, to visit relatives that they have not been visiting before, or visit their children studying abroad. So these are things that initially will happen. Not to say that business will not come in, but then it will be a second stage. And even today, you can see that some of the business transaction may no longer require them to travel. They can do that online, like what we have today. Even school lectures are held online. Similarly, business dealings also have a lot have been done. They are forced to do online. So once they are forced to do online, then they see that doing online will also will serve the purpose. Why should I travel 10 hours to spend my valuable time? But leisure travel must be there. People who want to travel, they want to visit their families, they want to go for holidays. So what we call in airline is the pent-up travel. Travel has been condoned for a long time. 1 year, people are not cannot travel. So once it open up, so they will start traveling. So airline will be preparing themselves to meet this demand.
So might be there's more people will go for the leisure, for traveling, to go hometown, to go travel. So it is the promises for or strategies for the airline to get more revenue. And for the last question for Mr. Azhar, people said that aviation or airspace is one of the exclusive and famous or glamour field. Why and what make it different?
I don't believe so now. If you ask me that question 30 years ago, yes. But today, I think traveling is a need to travel, and people have the means to travel today as the income also improve. I think even in our country, we are looking towards higher income. When we have higher income, then we can have we can satisfy our basic needs quite easily. Then we will move the next level hierarchy of the needs. What are they? Of course, then you will be going for what other thing that you wanted. Right? Travel also is a requirement once, especially if you're working so hard, studying so hard, you want to spend time to travel to ease your mind, to see other cultures, all that. So you have the means to travel, and then not only that. Today you have the cost of the travel, the land, the flight tickets. The cost is quite affordable. I can say, not say it's cheap, but affordable. You can travel, and you do not have to work as a high position executive managers, all that to travel, or business owner. But then today, even the normal when the young people, graduates, also can already travel. Maybe travel a short distance within the region first. Then you save some money, then you can travel. But then, of course, and also there are a lot of promotions available by airlines. Promotions, and then there are schemes to travel. Then if you participate in their frequent traveler, so you have some deals that you can take advantage of to travel. It has been some basic necessities for people to travel today, because our mindset is also different from what we were before. Before we just thought travel is we don't need to, we just travel within our going to PD or going to Kuantan, all that. But today we want to venture, and we see this the destinations online. We see in TV program, travel magazine, all that. That entice us to try to experience going to Japan, going to Australia. Of course, there are traditional destinations that people in Malaysia. You need to know where people in Malaysia like to travel to. Maybe London. First thing they want to travel long haul must be London. So it will create when people talk among themselves, each other, they want to go travel. Not only that, there are other travel like Umrah to perform Umrah or religious pilgrimage, not only for Muslim, for non-Muslim also they travel to other places of interest. So these are I categorize as non-business travel, which is already there, just waiting for government to open up.
Open up the border.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me lah, during my childhood, I also think that aviation industry is famous or glamour when you join venture. But when you have been in the industry, I've recognized that not just the glamour, but more to experience and benefits what we can get, and especially when like Mr. Azhar works in airline, might be you can have a free ticket to travel, quota free ticket, like that.
Yes, of course. When you work with the airlines, you have that opportunity advantage to basically, if you like to travel, why not join the aviation industry, airline industry especially, that give you opportunity. Not only about free ticket, then sometimes you in the course of performing your duties, you are required to travel overseas. To make like myself, you need to go and look into the new markets. So you travel. Sometimes you, even during my early days, I travel for to attend conferences, IATA conferences, ICAO, and then conferences conducted by aircraft manufacturer. So where we meet a lot of our counterparts with other countries, other carriers, which is interesting. So if you like to travel, join the airlines. Then give you opportunity. Definitely, everyone who works in the airline will definitely be have the opportunity to travel, at least free travel. So you just prepare yourself to for other land costs. But other than travel, I would like to also emphasize that it gives opportunity to also, like you said now, whether opportunity to work other countries. Yes,
Yeah.
I met quite a number of my colleagues who when they work with the airline, then have been frequenting certain countries, and then they feel that okay, then there is some opening in the dealing with the agencies or maybe with the airports, and there are new openings for them to work in that particular country. So we do not have you shouldn't have any limitation, or maybe even earlier you have a limitation, but then when you work, you given the opportunity to visit other countries and to engage with counterparts in other companies, then you can see that, oh, maybe I would like to settle down. I have a friend, one person, a friend who worked as in sales and marketing, working like me in Istanbul. Finally, she landed there. I mean, say, okay, I want to retire early. I want to work in Istanbul because they find that is they enjoy the company, the place, and the people around them. So they would like to stay there. So the thing is, it very interesting. Open up opportunities, not only about making earning a living but also enjoy their working life.
Yeah. So from that, there's more various interesting opportunity in this airline and also aviation industry itself. Okay, Mr. Azhar, before we end the session, for your information also, we already prepare a few videos regarding the interview for a few various job opportunity or job scope. So shall we to watch it together?
Yeah.
So are you ready, Prantak? Okay, today we want to interview one of
Hi,
staff.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Nur Hidayat bin Muhammad Rizwan. I graduated from University of Aviate on 2009, currently holding a diploma in aviation technology in avionics. I've been in flight simulator training industry for the past 11 years now, currently working as a simulator support engineer for Qatar Airways based in Doha, Qatar. To get into simulator engineering field, you need to have knowledge in avionics, computer networking, and basic troubleshooting skills. My most memorable experience is to be selected as a sole field representative from Malaysia to be based in Jakarta, Indonesia for Garuda Indonesia Training Center. If you're interested on getting into similar field, find out more about UniKL Miat at www.unikl.edu.my. UniKL, where knowledge is applied.
Hi everybody, I am Darul Khutuni, alumni of UniKL Miat. I was enrolled in Bachelor of Aircraft Engineering Technology in Avionics. I'm graduated in 2014. Right now I'm working in TBM Aviation company, which is a technical aviation consultant. My position right now is aircraft consultant. What I'm doing right now is reviewing aircraft record and doing some physical inspection. Doing a review record means that we must ensure that all associated document related to the aircraft meet national authority regulation or company requirement if it is a leasing aircraft. And then there are too many documents in aircraft actually, such as airworthiness directives, service bulletin, hard time, OCCM, and then buckle chart also. And then it is for all of airframe, landing gear, engine, and APU. And then so far I'm working in consultant around 1 year, because before this I was in aircraft operator, I mean in airline, as a technical service engineer, which is the same job as I'm doing right now, but we have there are some differences scope, because now we are consultant and then before we are operator. And then I will have 6 experience, I think 6 experience before, because I graduated from 2014 and then I become my first experience since 2015 until 2021 right now, 6 years. When I was in operator, I was in engineering department, so 4 years I think in operator and then 1 year in consultant. One of the most memorable memory that I gain is when I'm delivering an aircraft from one operator to our airlines in a foreign country. So we went there and then we do a record review, we did a physical inspection, and then we must ensure this aircraft is suitable for our airline. And then it was take time around 1 month. This is my most favorable memory. And then my advice to aviation student, yes, especially for me at UNIKL me a student. Aviation world is large. I mean, this is not only about pilot or licensed aircraft engineer, but it is more than that. Aviation industry still needs your contribution for next time. And then the vacancy also during this pandemic, maybe some vacancies is small. I mean, vacancies not too much actually, but maybe after pandemic there are still many vacancies there. What you must do is study hard, and also study hard and improve your skill, because the more skill you have, there are many vacancies will come. I think that's my advice for you all. So please study hard and improve your skill. That's all from me. Thank you very much.
Okay, today we want to interview one of staff Galaxy Aerospace, who is Norziah binti Sulaiman, who is production planner. Okay, boleh Puan Norziah cerita sedikit pengalaman ataupun background Puan Norziah?
Oh, sebelum saya bekerja di Galaxy ni, saya bekerja di Aviation company juga. Sebagai production planner juga. Sebelum tu sebenarnya saya bukanlah dalam bidang engineering sebenarnya. Sebelum ni saya bekerja sebagai admin dekat syarikat yang lain. Lepas tu bila dah masuk dalam tahun 2001, saya mula mencebur diri dalam bidang ni lah.
So boleh tak Puan Norziah cerita lebih lanjut apa tu production planner ni, tambah lagi apa yang Puan Norziah buat production planner dalam Galaxy Aerospace lah.
Oh, okey. Sebab ini saya sebagai production planner bahagian EMO. Jadi apa yang saya buat ialah saya saya terima work package daripada Kemo. Lepas tu saya akan tengok work package tersebut dan kalau yang melibatkan SMI tu, saya akan discuss kepada engineer. Nak tahu barang apa yang diperlukan. Kalau tak ada, kita order. Kalau ada, kita ambil daripada kita punya warehouse lah. Lepas tu saya kena sediakan tools apa yang nak dipakai untuk buat inspection tu.
So kiranya kalau tak start dengan Puan Noziah, tak ada lah semua aktiviti-aktiviti yang dekat Aerospace Galaxy ni kan.
Sekarang ni sebab saya selain daripada tadi sebagai production planner, saya juga sebagai yang control publication untuk Galaxy ni, untuk engineering division. Ada dua kerja lah maknanya apa, sekarang ni setengah update yang publication ni. Sebab publication ni dia kita install kat mana-mana PC yang register untuk orang buat kerja. Jadi saya kena sekarang ni tengah update location PC masing-masing sebab ada PC baru, registered PC baru yang masuk. So saya tengah update.
So itulah sebagai sikit production planner, kiranya yang saya boleh rumuskan, Puan Noziah lah yang plan tools apa nak pakai, dapat info daripada Kemo. So untuk makluman, Kemo tu adalah satu organisation lah, ataupun body yang sediakan ataupun owner untuk maintenance. Betul tak? Betul nasib baik. So untuk last lah, boleh tak Puan Noziah bagi semangat ataupun guideline, advice untuk mungkinlah student dekat luar sana yang ingin mencuburi dalam aviation ni. Macam saya dengar tadi, Puan Noziah bukan dari aviation itu sendiri, dari luar kan, luar bidang, tapi still lagi boleh dalam aviation.
Boleh je, sebab sekarang ni kita tak perlu nak, untuk especially yang sekarang lah, tak perlu nak memilih sangat kerja. Sebab boleh je apa yang kita tak tahu, boleh je kita cebur dan kita boleh belajar dari situ. Yang pentingnya kita kena minat lah. Itu yang paling penting.
Okey. So terima kasih. Kiranya anda ingin membuat sesuatu, kena start dengan passion lah. Passion with love kan orang panggil. So dengan itu saya nak ucapkan terima kasih kerana Puan Noziah luangkan masa. Sebab kan sekarang time audit, time banyak kerja, tapi Puan Noziah still lagi luangkan masa untuk kita interview. So terima kasih. Boleh jumpa lagi.
So the video was prepared by our media team. So those are a few words from Madam Noziah, the planning officer at the Galaxy Aerospace, and also a few words from our alumni of Unique Aviate itself. So the end of the video marks the end of the session. So we would like to thank Mr. Azhar for your willingness to join us as a speaker for this event. On behalf of Aviation Exhibition Committee, I am honored and would like to thank you for your time and share your experience with us. So before you leave the team, we would like to take a picture with you, if you can.
Thank you. It's my pleasure as well to be in this also supporting. In fact, this is also my objective to join the university to share knowledge. As I've been working quite long time, so I would like to also share knowledge that I have gained throughout my career with young people like you all. Of course, this is what I've experienced before may not today may or may not be relevant, but give some background before you indulge yourself in the industry. As people say that whatever skills that you have previously may sometimes not relevant today, but then it will give some ideas. Maybe new thing for basis for new innovation can be done also based on the previous experience. So okay, with that note, I also thank you with the organizing team to invite me.
So is that our technical team ready? So if any of the participants in teams want to take a picture with us, so you guys can open up your camera also, and we will take our picture in another 30 seconds.
Siapa we are hiring? Kenapa dekat YouTube?
Okay, so is our technical team ready for the?
Not yet. Okay, we wait.
Sorry for the delay, sir, because our technical team is quite busy at the moment. Okay, so if you guys are ready and our technical team are ready also. Her full name and her phone number, and then she put the answer there. So there will be 5 questions. If there are 5 questions, you need to put 5 answers before you post it in the YouTube comment.
Before that, I can see the comment at the YouTube. Our audience says that they can't hear.
on mic.
us?
Okay. So can you hear us now?
If you can hear us, other audience can give a thumbs up or any emoji. Okay,
Okay,
yes.
nice. Okay, so I will repeat back what I said just now. So these are a few instructions that our committee itself has requested for the ease of them. So, okay, so each participant need to put their full name and phone number before answer the question,
Yes.
so that we can contact you in the case of you win the
Money
quiz.
prize,
Yes.
yes.
And you have to answer all of the question before you post it in the YouTube comment. So it means that if there are 5 questions, you need to answer all 5, including with your full name and phone number before you post it in the YouTube comment. Okay, so as you can see the example below, this woman, Nisa Nur Izzati binti Roslin, she put her full name there and her phone number, and then she answers all of the questions before she posted in the YouTube chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
So our audience are ready for the quiz?
So another one, Ifa. We forget something.
Yeah, they are ready.
This quiz is based on the first come first serve. The one who answer it
Fast.
correctly with the fast, so they will get the prize. Okay. So the first question is, which of these are airline company? So A, Galaxy Aerospace, B, Hammock, and C, Aeromexico.
So before that, I want to remind back for the audience, please please don't send it first. Okay. So for the question 1, which of this airline company? So Aiman, which the airline company?
I'm not sure because I don't know much about airline company actually.
I think you are not focusing on that previous part. Okay.
I think so, I guess.
So, shall we
move to the next question?
Yeah.
I think that's long enough. Okay. So the next question, I give the honor to you, Ifa.
Our audience at the YouTube can see the question too. Okay. Following are the key areas that head of station airline are responsible to, except A, sales and marketing, B, airport and operations, C, engineering, D, ATC. So, what do you think, Aiman?
I think the head of station airline, I think they are responsible to all, even the ATC, even the engineering, they covers all of the aspect. So
I think so.
I think this is just a trick question, you know.
Yeah. So it's mentioned that except, so you need to think and answer it properly. Can we proceed to the next question?
Okay, so among the listed below, which one is not included? I repeat, it's not included in airline services. So A, in-flight services, B, catering, and C, ground handling. So which one of those are not included in the airline service? What do you think, Ifa?
I think airline services always I can see in the cockpit, the pilot, in the cabin, the cabin crew. So I think catering maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe catering. I think the stewardess cook our food. Right?
Yeah, I think so. So shall we proceed with the fourth question?
Okay.
Okay. So
the fourth question, our audience can see the fourth question. Of course, I cannot hear you. Okay, who are responsible for aircraft refueling? Sorry, who are responsible for aircraft refueling? A, airline, B, airport, C, fueling company. I think this is direct question, right?
Yeah, this is just a bonus question.
Bonus question for us. For you to get the prize money prize?
150 ringgit
Yeah.
for 5 winners.
What can you buy, Aiman?
150 ringgit.
Not for a person lah, one person.
Per person.
For 5 winners.
For 5 winners. Okay, so maybe I can buy lunch.
Lunch?
I can buy lunch for 2 days.
2 days,
Yeah.
okay. You can saving there?
Yeah, you can save your money, your own pocket money to buy, I don't know, maybe FIFA 2022.
Oh, I think not, cannot buy that. So for our last question 5. So after this, you need to fast comment. Okay, question 5.
Okay. So the questions sounds like airline must complete flight planning process before departing. Is it a yes or a no? So this is just a simple question, just a yes or no question. So is it true that airline must complete flight planning process before departing or after departing?
Yeah, what is the flight planning process?
Yeah, if you guys stay tuned, if you guys stick to the live and the hear to what the speaker said just now, I believe that you guys will have the answer right now in the comment chat.
Yeah, so
So
who the fastest one? We have another question? No, right. So
this is the last
until the question 5. So who got the 5 answer? You need to comment who the fastest one, and the correct one will be the winner. We have the 5%. Okay. So we are still waiting.
Yep. So don't forget to put your full name, your phone number, and all of your answers inside one comment. Okay.
Yeah.
So that we can contact you in the case of you win the first quiz. You know.
Yeah.
And the price is quite quite lumayan.
Lumayan.
I don't know the English words because my lidah is terbelit, you know.
Okay, can. So sebelum tadi kita tengok ramai yang komen nama semua. Astaghfirullahaladzim. Ramai yang komen nama, tapi bila dah sampai part answer ni macam slow pace sikit. Come on.
Come on guys, come on. So kalau korang nak tengok balik soalan ke ataupun nak baca soalan balik ke, silalah komen.
Sila komen biar kami mendengar anda.
Kami mendengar rintihan anda. Okey.
Di mana Ahmad Didat tadi? Di mana Syarif Syarifuddin tadi? Mana tadi lagi?
Rocky's Kingdom. Kakak boleh comel. Siapakah Hilmi ni? Tolong Kik. Tak adalah.
Umar Azizan. Dah bagi nama dah.
Muhammad Akil Naim. So what's your answer? Okay.
Okay. Kita tengok Akil Naim.
Dia malu tu.
Macam mana Akil Naim?
Macam mana ni?
Rasanya komiti boleh tak join sekali rasanya. Kalau kita join?
Kalau kita join, kita dapat duit lah. Sebab kita dah tahu jawapan semua. Tapi pijak juga macam tu kan?
Kan.
So, tak apalah, kami akan ulang balik soalan in the case of kalau korang tak dengar. Okay?
Kita masih lagi ada masa.
Kita ada masa lagi. Okay. So, the first question is, which of these airline company? Galaxy Aerospace, B. Hammock, C. Aeromexico. So the next question is,
following are the key areas that head of station airline are responsible to, except A. Sales and marketing, B. Airport operations, C. Engineering, and D. ATC. Which one?
Which one of it is not the key areas? Okay. So the third question sounds like, among the listed below, which one is not included in airline service? I repeat, not included in airline service. A, in flight services, B, catering, C, ground handling.
Question number 4.
Yeah.
Who are responsible for aircraft refueling? A, airline, B, airport, C, fueling company.
So we will repeat the last question, and if you guys got all of the 5, answers, you can post it in the chat box. So the fifth question: airline must complete flight planning process before departing. I repeat, airline must complete flight planning process before departing. Is it a yes or a no?
Yes or no?
Yeah.
A for yes, B for no.
So I think it's just a simple question. I believe that if they watch and they stay with us
The videos, watch
and
the
the
videos.
videos, watch the videos, watch hear what the speaker say, and maybe jot down some note, some points. Maybe diorang boleh jawab rasanya.
Betul.
Okay, so kami mendapat info lah daripada kami punya technical team. Katanya kalau ada a few of you guys tak dah post komen tapi tak nampak, dia tak naik kat kita orang. So you guys can refresh and you guys can try balik untuk submit the question, your answer. So kami nampak ada 17 orang yang dalam ni, Ifah.
18.
Tolak kita 17 lah.
Oh ya. Yeah.
Kalau tolak kita ada 17. So maknanya takkanlah dalam 17 orang ni tak ada seorang pun yang jawab betul.
Ifah rasa ada tu. Mungkin yang Akil Naim tu kena refresh kan? Dia punya YouTube.
Ramai yang tak ada.
Or anyone tu saja. Funina.
Okay, so since semua saya rasa kebanyakannya ada problem yang komen tak nampak sebenarnya. So kita akan meninggalkan nombor phone. Okay, kita akan tinggalkan nombor phone. So nanti korang cepat-cepatlah WhatsApp nombor phone tu untuk log jawapan korang. Cara jawab still sama. Jangan lupa include number full name, nombor phone dan jawapan. Kelima-lima jawapannya.
Okay.
So kalau awak betul dan awak paling laju memang fast hand lah kiranya, fast hand. Memang awak lah confirm akan menjadi pemenang duit itu. Nombor dah.
Okay.
Sekejap kami punya tim masih lagi mencari-cari nombor telefon siapa yang menjadi mangsa. Nampaknya siapa yang terkena, Ifah?
Anyone kalau audience yang boleh komen ke kita kena refresh kita punya.
Rasanya kita perlu refresh. So kalau tutup kat balik.
Kami cuba untuk merefreshkan sekali. Biasa dah lama tak stream.
Oh, Ifah stream.
Cuma tengok je.
Oh, tengok stream. Kan Ifah stream ni, kalau Ifah stream saya pun nak tanya main game apa?
Tak apalah. Mungkin selepas ni.
So,
our committee already posted the number.
The phone number.
So I will also read the phone number. 011 37 43 7066. I repeat, 011 374 37066. Her name Nina. So same instruction. You need to
follow the same instruction. So don't forget. I repeated this again so that you don't forget. You need to submit your name, full name, your phone number, and also your answer. So we got a winner.
The first winner.
So we would like to congratulate Sharifah Nur Huda bin Syed Muzaffar Shah.
Sharifah Nur Huda binti Syed Muzaffar Shah.
So we would like to congratulate you, and you did a very good job.
Yeah, for the first winner, we already have the first winner. So we have another 4 winner. So siapa lagi? Cepat.
Siapa cepat dia dapat. Ingat tak Ifah dulu ada satu cerita hantu masa malam Kliwon dekat TV3.
Rasanya zaman kita berlainan.
Zaman kita tak jauh sangat.
Okey.
Saya rasa masa tu saya sekolah rendah, Cik Ifah masa tu.
Jangan disebut.
Yelah, Cik Ifah dah jam 4. Saya dah jam 2.
Okey.
So beza kita tak jauh mana.
Baik, faham.
So zaman kita tu ada satu cerita, nama dia apa tak saya tak ingat lah, tapi yang saya ingat nama dia dia punya tagline adalah pat siku lipat, siapa cepat
dia dapat. Rasanya itu macam pantun tak formal lah.
Ya, pantun tak formal tapi sebab kita pun dah towards the end of our first session, so saya rasa macam kalau committee kalau participant dengar lagi kita masih berformal tu, saya rasa macam orang
betul?
Bosannya.
Betul?
So macam kita pun kena santai.
Sorry lah Ifah tak fokus dengan iMac. Ifah terlalu fokus dengan YouTube ni. Akhil Naim cakap dia dah send jawapan. Nombor Akhil Naim, bagi sekali nombor. Betul ke tak kita tengok Okey, tempat kedua.
So Ifah?
Siti Sarah binti Abdul Rahman. Our second winner. Tahniah, alhamdulillah. Congratulations. So Akhil Naim boleh check balik soalan, check balik jawapan.
Check balik jawapan tu.
Takut ada salah tu. Mungkin nombor 2B. Kita tak tahu.
Mana tahu nombor 5C.
Gitu kan.
Walaupun ada 2 jawapan je.
Tak
mana tahu jawapan dia C.
Alhamdulillah Fafa. Siti Sarah, thank you. Boleh nanti belanja kita orang.
Belanja kita orang star. Cepat. Kalau boleh laju lagi. Kalau dia tak reply tu, kalau kita tak mention nama korang, maknanya adalah salah tu. So
betul.
korang check balik betul-betul.
Korang message lah dengan komiti tu tanya apa jawapan dia.
Yang siapa komiti tu Nina.
Nina.
Tapi saya rasa Nina ni dia tak bagilah jawapan tu.
Kita bagi hint lah kan. Tak boleh dah nak tengok balik soalan. So korang pandai-pandai lah. Macam tadi Cik Azhar cakap kita kena pandai buat networking kan.
Betul.
Dalam networking kita kena pandai persuading. Persuading.
Dia
betul
apa?
Kan?
Bukan menghasut.
Menggoda. Bukan menggoda.
Risau.
Risau
kadang.
Lagi. Di mana anda semua? Kita ada lagi berapa vacancies untuk vacancies gitu.
Kita ada lagi 3 vacancies. So siapakah insan yang terpilih untuk mengisi 3 tempat kosong itu?
Muhammad Aziz.
Okay. So kita dah ada pemenang ketiga, which is Muhammad Haziq Naim. Okay, so saya nak mengucapkan tahniah
kepada Muhammad Haziq Naim. Haziq Naim ke nama dia? Okey.
Haziq Naim ada ke? Tolong chat
Akhil Naim ada mesej dekat chat box, betul tak? Cuba tengok.
Cik. Betul ke tidak? Okey. So Muhammad Akhil Naim, kami baru mendapat info bahawa awak adalah tempat yang keempat. So tadi Haziq tadi kita sangat berbangga sebab dia menjawab 2 kali. 2 kali. First time tak betul tapi tak mudah putus asa. Dia tak mengalah. So siapakah
gerangan
yang
satu orang saja lagi.
Betul.
Cepat.
Nervous Saya nervous pula.
Kan?
Nombor 5 ni. Tiba-tiba kalau nampak nama Aiman Zikri kat situ.
Tak boleh.
Tak boleh. Masih tak boleh.
Kita tak boleh. Kita bagi peluang dekat orang lain.
Macam bagi peluang kedua lah. Itu Haziq Naim, pemenang kita yang nombor 3. Dan
kita dah tutup. Kita dah dapat last winner. So siapa last winner kita?
Okay, so our last winner is Muhammad Syafiq bin Zainuddin.
Yeay, Muhammad Syafiq bin Zainuddin, terima kasih. Terima kasih. Tahniah.
Saya pun dah terpengaruh dengan
saya baca Haziq Naim punya komen ni. Dia cakap thank you. So tahniah semua. Nanti kita punya komiti akan contact anda untuk dapatkan account number. Siapa yang dekat-dekat dengan Miat, yang kenal UniKM Miat tu apa, datanglah, boleh dapat duit sekali. Okay,
so
thank you for joining the quizzes.
Okay, so sekarang pun jam dah menunjukkan 12.15 tengah hari. So saya rasa audience pun mestilah penat.
Betul.
Sebab dia banyak information
Banyak
yang didapat
sangat
daripada kita
information.
punya speaker tadi, iaitu Encik Azhar. Jadi dengan apa yang kita punya Dean of Uniki Almiat sebut tadi, saya rasa betul lah yang bahawa aviation industry ni semakin lama semakin mengembang dan dia diinkludkan dalam rangkit rancangan Malaysia ke-12 dengan bersasarkan untuk mendapat 30 bilion dalam untung 30 bilion. So kami daripada Komiti Aviation Exhibition, kami mahu mengucapkan terima kasih, ribuan terima kasih untuk korang kerana stay dengan kami daripada pagi, daripada pukul 8, daripada pukul
9.30 awal
sampai
pagi.
pukul 12.16 sekarang. So kami akan berehat daripada pukul 12.30 12.16 sampai pukul 2.30.
Betul. Tapi sebelum tu Aiman, Ifan nak remindkan untuk sebelum tu Ifan nak ucapkan tahniah untuk semua pemenang quizzes kita. Yang audiens yang lain, mana yang tak sempat untuk jawab, mana yang tak dapat,
jangan bersedih.
Jangan bersedih. Kerana
kita ada banyak lagi session seperti itu.
Kita ada banyak lagi session. Setiap session kita akan ada lucky draw and quizzes. Okay, kita akan adakan quizzes and lucky draw. And setiap tu korang akan ada peluang lah untuk dapat hadiah.
Lah.
Okay. So Aiman.
So okay, sebelum kita berehat lah, saya nak mengingatkan lah pada pukul 2.30 petang ini, okay, kita ada session yang tak ramai orang yang tahu dan dia sebenarnya
menarik.
Dia menarik. Dia benda ni dia macam orang biasa pandang airline, pandang airport, tapi ini salah satu bidang yang mengembang, yang berkembang maju semasa pandemik ni.
Betul.
So apa itu bidang tu?
So macam kita tahu, kita baru lepas 11.11, okay. So ini ada berkaitan sangat dengan 11.11. Kita orang nak jumpa industri player ni pun susah sebab ada 11.11.
Dia busy.
Busy sangat. So anda pun boleh dah capture apa itu. So after this 2:30 PM for those yang interested untuk tahu lebih lanjut, to know more about airport and cargo. So we have session airport and cargo this evening. So will be the session for you to information about it. This evening session will be the best session for you to have information about it. Before that, I believe that I might have the reminder for all the audience.
Okay, so we want to remind you that the Google form for attendance will be posted on tomorrow, on the last day of our event, on the closing ceremony. Yes, so don't forget to join our closing ceremony and claim lah GHOCS
form. GHOCS.
So
with that,
kalau tak ada apa-apa lagi, Ifah,
kita tutup, kita berehat and kita sambung untuk petang session seterusnya
pada pukul 2.30. So
jangan
lupa join.
Betul. Okay, thank you so much. See you after this. See you next
Bye-bye
session.
guys.